All right, let's cut the crap and dive right into this shit. We're talking power today, folks. The kind that makes the world piss its pants.
You know it.
We're going deep on the Forbes list of most powerful people, 2009 to 2018.
Yeah.
Pulled up the Wikipedia entry on this bad boy. Prepare to be surprised. Some wild-ass names on here.
It's pretty crazy how Forbes tries to, like, quantify power, right?
Yeah, how the hell do you even measure that?
Well, they give one slot for every 100 million people on the planet and then rank them based on how much control they got over resources, money, how much they can influence global events.
It's basically, how hard can these people make the world dance?
You got it.
Like a global popularity contest, but instead of votes, it's nukes and cash.
Pretty much. It's a fascinating way to look at the world. And kind of fucked up, if you ask me.
Let's jump into it. Historical top 10 rankings. Got the usual suspects, right?
Yeah.
Obama, Putin, all those guys.
Yeah, the big dogs.
But wait, hold the fucking phone. Pope Benedict the whatever.
The six.
Yeah, him and Pope Francis. They're right up there with him.
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. The papacy, they don't have armies, don't really control economies in the traditional sense.
Right.
But they wield a different kind of power. It's soft power. They influence billions through faith, moral authority.
A different flavor of power.
Totally. But potent as hell.
Yeah. Can you imagine having that many people hanging on your every word?
It's a trip.
That's some serious influence.
Yeah.
And then you got these tech giants storming the castle.
Yeah.
Bill Gates, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg. Like, is Silicon Valley the new seat of power?
It's a good question. I mean, think about it. These guys control the platforms that shape how we communicate, how information spreads, global commerce even.
Great.
Every decision they make impacts billions of lives. Every single day.
It's kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah.
A bunch of dudes in hoodies basically deciding the future.
Yeah.
Okay, let's play a little game of who's who. Listed 7 or more times section. Putin, Merkel, Gates. They're practically regulars on this list.
Their constant presence just shows you how much influence they have. And it's not going away anytime soon.
No.
Putin's control over Russia, Merkel's leadership in Europe, Gates' impact on philanthropy. They've all shaped the world in huge ways.
For sure. But there's one name here you might not recognize. Mukesh Ambani. This dude is the only person listed every single time. And I bet most people listening have never even heard of him.
That's what makes him so interesting, right? Ambani runs Reliance Industries.
Yeah.
This massive Indian conglomerate. Fingers in everything. Petrochemicals, telecom, retail, you name it.
Damn.
This guy's wealth and influence within India. Insane. He's like a silent giant on the world stage.
A silent giant.
Yeah.
More like a fucking stealthy ninja billionaire. It's crazy how much power can be in the hands of people we don't even know. Makes you a little pissed off, right?
It definitely raises some questions
Yeah.
about transparency, accountability, all that. But it also shows you how many different forms power can take in this crazy 21st century.
So we got political heavy hitters, spiritual leaders, tech gods, and even a shadowy Indian billionaire. This list is like a who's who of global domination. But what the hell does it all mean?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Does being on this list even fucking matter?
Yeah, point.
Is power a good thing? A bad thing?
Oh,
Or just a big steaming pile of bullshit?
like, are these people using their power to, like, make the world a better place?
Yeah.
Or are they just jerking each other off in some global power circle jerk?
Yeah, I mean, it's rarely black and white, right? Power's a tool. Like any tool can be used to build amazing things or just completely fuck shit up.
True.
Like look at Bill Gates, right? Built a goddamn tech empire, made a shit ton of money,
Oh, yeah.
and then decided, you know what? I'm going to use this to fight global health problems,
Right.
poverty through his foundation and all that.
So Bill Gates is like the world's richest superhero.
I mean, kinda.
But what about Putin? He's been like clinging to power in Russia for fucking decades. And let's be real, he's not exactly known for being Mr. Rogers.
Putin, yeah, he's a complex figure, for sure. He's held onto power, no doubt.
Oh.
But at what cost, you know? He's been accused of some pretty fucked up shit. Human rights abuses, silencing anyone who disagrees with him, meddling in other countries' elections.
Yeah, not great.
It's like his style of power is all about control and dominance, not like Gates's focus on, like, helping people.
So different flavors of power, right?
Totally.
You got your benevolent dictators,
Yeah.
your tech-savvy overlords, your spiritual gurus. It's a real mixed bag of nuts out there.
Exactly. And we can't forget that power is constantly shifting and changing. Think about like the Arab Spring uprisings.
Oh, yeah.
Social media played a huge role in that, getting people organized, challenging the powers that be.
So even us regular folks, we can grab a piece of the power pie. if we know how to use the tools.
That's the potential of the digital age, right? It's like power is being spread out.
Right.
But it also creates a whole new set of problems. I mean, think about misinformation, online propaganda, how algorithms can shape what we see and believe.
Yeah, that's some seriously fucked up shit. It's like, who's really in control, man? Is the tech companies, the governments, or are we all just puppets, dancing to the tune of some algorithm?
That's the question we should all be asking ourselves, right? It's not just about who has power, but how are they using it?
Right.
And who's making sure they're not abusing it?
It's almost like we need a global scorecard, for these power players. Like, how much good are they doing in the world versus how much bullshit they're spewing?
That's an interesting idea.
Right.
Imagine a system that tracks not just their wealth and influence, but also things like whether they're making ethical decisions, what their impact is on the environment, how much they're doing for society as a whole.
That would be a fucking game changer.
Right.
We could hold these power players' feet to the fire, see who's actually making a difference.
It would definitely add a whole new layer to this conversation about power. And that's really what this deep dive is all about, getting us to think critically about who's calling the shots, how they're doing it, and what it means for all of us.
Okay, so we talked about these big dogs, right? Guys and gals who make the world shit its pants.
Yeah.
But what about us regular folks? How do we navigate this whole power landscape without getting, trampled?
It's a good question. I think it starts with understanding that power, it takes many forms. It's not all about flexing your muscles or flashing your cash.
Right.
Knowledge is power, right? Influence, who you know. These are all forms of power too.
So it's like, if you know the right people, you got your finger on the pulse, and you understand how the system works, that's power too.
Exactly. Leverage. Knowing which buttons to push, when to push them, and how to push them, being informed, having a strategy, and knowing how to make your voice heard.
So we gotta be like power ninjas, sneaking around, figuring out the system, and using it to our advantage.
You could say that. It's about being aware, adapting, not being afraid to, challenge the status quo.
But let's be real, not everyone can be a power ninja, right? Some of us, we just want to make it through the day without getting screwed.
That's fair. But even in our everyday lives, we can make choices that give us more power, give other people more power.
Okay.
Supporting businesses that do the right thing, right? Fighting for policies we believe in, speaking up for people who don't have a voice.
Right.
These might seem like small things, but they add up. They make a difference.
So it's not always about climbing to the top of the power ladder. It's more about using whatever influence we got to make a positive impact, even if it's just in our own little corner of the world.
I think so, because at the end of the day, true power isn't about dominating other people.
Right.
It's about empowering ourselves and empowering the people around us. It's about building a more just world, a more equitable world, one step at a time.
Damn, that's some deep shit right there. So we got our work cut out for us, folks. Can't just sit back and let the big dogs run the show. We got to be informed, engaged, and ready to use our own power, for good. No more power circle jerks. Let's make this world a better place, one ninja move at a time. Well said. And who knows, maybe one day some of our listeners will even find themselves on that Forbes list, using their power to make a real difference. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of power. We've got political masterminds, tech overlords, spiritual gurus. It's a fucking jungle out there. But remember, power isn't just about being at the top. It's about using whatever influence you have to make a positive impact. So get out there, be informed, be engaged, and don't be afraid to shake things up a bit. Till next time, stay powerful, my friends.